Welcome to Ladder Lock-In, ladies and gentlemen. This is our hardcore grind session. And by that I mean it's playing StarCraft 1v1, which, if you've ever played StarCraft, you may know the game for being pretty hardcore, grindy 1v1. So that's where we are. That's what we're doing. Currently playing this game on Steam, Proton, over Linux, Ubuntu 2404. And I think, yeah, there we go. The old little BattleNet telling me it can't render something, pulling me up. That's fine. We are against a Protoss player. We'll see. See what he chooses to do in this matchup against us. What I like to do in this matchup is a double factory Cyclone Rush build. It's probably my favorite TvP strategy, largely because it also deals with a lot of proxy builds. It's my first game of the day for this specific match, so I'll be honest with you, I haven't really thought too much about what direction I want to take this. Since it's the first game of the day, I kind of go into it with like a little bit of warming up my hands, but I try to be a little bit graceful to myself because I know that I'm not ready for some super intense micro yet. Usually it takes me a game or two to get into that space, get the hands going. I could always do a warm-up before the stream, which is probably something that I should think about doing more, especially with all this improvement crap I've been working on. But the truth is, I was just excited to get on. I got on a little bit earlier today than usual. So there's the recall out. The Reaper will be able to scout around for any etceteras that we have to worry about. And there's not really a super hard counter to this build. You just kind of have to out-micro me. Stalkers, getting them with Blink as quickly as possible is usually it. But the thing with that is going for quick Blink Stalkers is actually almost always a good idea in TvP. So you can't like be worried about it. Do you know what I mean? If you lose to Blink Stalkers, like that's just, it usually comes down to their micro versus yours. So it's best not to dwell on it, I think is the words I'm looking for. Best not to dwell on it. But my Terran versus Protoss is so weak because I play a lot of, you guys know, mechanical battlecruiser type strategies. So even though there is a good chance to win the game outright when you do a build like this, a big part of the reason why I like these strategies are because it's one of the few ways that you can actually take early game map control against Protoss. If you micro your Cyclones well enough, you can really deal with a lot of stuff early on. So you just have to be ready for that mindset to commit no matter what. But I find that Terran versus Protoss is the hardest matchup for me these days. On the ladder especially. There are so many different types of builds that people use, but I find that the easiest way to not have to worry about them is to bring the pressure yourself. You don't always have to bring SCVs when you do an attack like this. Another way that you could do this is to just leave everything at home and try to expand behind it. Your games are roast worthy. Well, hey, if you want to submit a game for a roast, I'm just saying, I'm here to bring some value adds. That is the goal. That is the goal of this type of content. That is the goal of me wanting to do stuff like that. So you can see he's got his robo like rebuilding. Yeah, you see this though? This is beautiful. Because I'm gonna get his robo. I got the robo. We got a bunker up in his base. Ah, And there you go. There you go. So I call this build the Ghost Pepper Cheese. This was a really vintage strategy I invented when Legacy of the Void first came out. As you guys may or may not know, StarCraft 2 is so old now, I realize you may have been a newborn when the game released, and now you're 15 and you're actually learning the game. So there are a lot of things that have changed here and there, but the Cyclone has been adjusted probably more than almost any other unit in StarCraft. And with the lock-on, the long-range ability with the mag field accelerator, it's my favorite version of the unit because you can really bring the pressure to the Protoss. And you can see there that you float that barracks over and block the wall. There's not a lot they can do, so hope you appreciated this little breakdown. That was my first game of the day. We got the dub, so I'm just gonna... Thanks for cruising by.